What is happening in Nigeria? What happened in the Enugu State Governorship Election Tribunal today can be termed a legalization of forgery. How can a judge throw away the evidence that shows that someone forged a certificate, despite NYSC, the producer of the document, disowning the document that Peter Mbah submitted to INEC? They still went ahead and said that it is not a requirement to contest for governor. No one is arguing that. That's not the argument. The argument is that he forged the certificate. How? Another surprising one, which sounds logical anyway, but it's not the whole story. The judges held that in order to prove that a certificate is forged, one must produce the original. What if the original doesn't exist? That someone just designed a replica of the certificate like Peter Mbah did? Where are they supposed to get the original? Because it doesn't exist in their records according to NYSC. They testified in the court.
So it's not only NYSC. And let me tell you, the issue of the certificate you are talking about, I don't want to talk much about it. They came to NYSC for verification. We said this certificate is not issued from us.
Peter Mbah was not under compulsion to submit his NYSC certificate when he was filing his particulars for governorship election. Actually, the minimum requirement is SchoolSat, but you know how politics works. Everyone wants to submit his best. If you're a professor, if you're a doctor, if you have anything higher than SchoolSat, a politician will always try to submit that so as to gain advantage. Don't give your co-contestants an opportunity to say, are you sure this one is educated? Why did he submit only SchoolSat? So everyone tries to submit the highest educational qualification that he has. But even if someone submits SchoolSat, he can be disqualified. In fact, that SchoolSat also has an equivalent that can be determined by INEC themselves. So he wasn't under compulsion to submit NYSC certificate. For people who don't know the backstory, Peter Mbah was called for National Youth Service in the mid-2000s. And a few months after he started, he got an appointment by the governor of Enugu State, Chimaroku Nnamani. And since anyone that is under the National Youth Service is considered being employed by the federal government, you are not allowed by law to hold another employment. Peter Mbah went for the political appointment. He went for it. He never went back to complete his NYSC service until he wanted to contest for governor. So he tendered a forged certificate to INEC when he was filing his particulars. Now the petitioners, Edeoga of the Labour Party, tendered all this in evidence in court. But look at what the court is saying, that it is not a requirement. Very strange. Who is talking about requirement? We are talking about someone who breached the Constitution. He breached the part that says anyone who submits a forged certificate must be disqualified. Even in this election cycle, people have been disqualified. In Katsina, one person was disqualified because he forged a primary school certificate, which is not even a requirement for the position, but he himself submitted it and it was found to be forged. He stands to be disqualified, which the judge did. The same Electoral Act and the same Nigerian Constitution, but different judgments. Why? Why the double standards? Another strange one from the judges was the reason they gave for throwing away the evidence of overvoting in Nkanu East local government area. They said that Labour Party agents did not sign the results. In Kanu, they said the ballots weren't stamped. In Enugu, they said the party agents didn't sign the results. Why did they allow the results in the first place? They should have cancelled it if the signature of party agents are required in order for results to be valid. The Electoral Act makes it clear whether any political party agent signed the result or not. It doesn't invalidate the result. The inconsistencies from the court are just so blatant. Even if they want to give a fraudulent judgment, let it be consistent. Not this one will order this one will say a different thing, this one will say that. A bystander looking at the whole thing will say, is it not the same Electoral Act these people are quoting in order to deliver this judgment? Is it not the same 1999 Constitution they're interpreting? Why do we have different interpretations? Is it not the same law? You can imagine the character of someone who would descend so low to forge a certificate. Imagine what the person would do to the treasury of the state. Why will the worst of us keep being in charge of our affairs when we have many smart Nigerians, not just in Nigeria, but living abroad, that can do the job far better than them? In fact, when they do this job, the people will get a bargain for their money because they will manage their resources judiciously. Why do these judges openly validate fraud without shame? The Constitution says no one should forge a certificate, and they are busy making excuses for someone who forged a certificate. This is strange.